Okay, hello again. This is Better Call Paul. Luca's been working on another project with me. We did this one back in about almost a year ago, November. It was for winter. We're hooking up a Nest thermostat system to a fireplace. Well, it's not a HVAC system. So I'll go in and I'll show you the fireplace. And this is in a cabin that's the sole source of heat, primary heat, is we converted this fireplace into basically a furnace, and it also has electric baseboard heater in here that runs as a backup for if the gas goes out or something. But this unit here was basically a gas and thermostat wire that runs the pilot light. It's an on-off flame. There's no control of the flame. The flame is either on, and if it's off, then the pilot light's just burning. So that's our power hookup there. Our Nest system is just in the center of the room. You can see the Nest system on the wall. We called Nest and tried to get them to walk us through their hookup of this. And because this is not an HVAC type system where there's voltage supplied to the Nest unit, they said we couldn't use it. Well, it took us about 2-3 hours of testing to try to figure out the schematics on this. And what it ended up being was they say you can't do a pigtail on this system. Well, we did, and it worked, and it's been working for a year. So when you want to hook up a Nest unit, you take a picture of the wires from your HVAC unit, you send it to them, they send you back the schematic for hooking up the wires on the Y and the G and the R and the W1 and the C and the other units, which I think is a cooling system or something. But what we ended up doing is that all we wanted to do was have that Nest unit supply a on and an off mode, an open or closed circuit. Didn't need anything for air conditioning or all this other fancy stuff. So if you look really closely in there, you can see that white wire has got some shrink wrap around it. Well, that's because two wires there are joined together. And I think even wrote on there orange. So on, what's your code here on this phone?
333333.
Okay, well, I just showed the world it.
Yeah, that's okay.
It didn't work. Oh, there we go. Okay, so the Nest unit, which just plugs in and unplugs. Here's what the schematic color of wiring we figured out would be. White and orange connected together to that plugged into R. And you can see the R there. It happens to be a white wire, but we only use it as a pigtail. So as far as we're concerned, that's the R wire. So white and orange are hooked into the Nest on the R. Red goes to the W1, and the black wire goes to C. So you can see how the red and is W1 and the C is the black wire. So back over here to this is what made everything possible. Is we just put a low voltage transformer, plugged it into the fireplace, hooked up the thermostat. So here's our wires going back to the Nest, which is the white and the black, create our power. The blue we have wrapped up and is doing nothing, basically. The red on here goes to these two wires here are the thermostat. So basically all we're doing is we're providing the Nest unit with a low voltage circuit in order for it to operate. And then the, I believe it's the orange and the wire, it just opens and closes the circuit. So it turns the pilot light on this fireplace. The pilot light runs all the time, and then all of a sudden the furnace, once you want to turn up your temperature, you turn the temperature up on the Nest, and bingo, you've got power. So if I put this back on, and you have to go through the setup, I think. But anyways, we can control this from anywhere outside of the not being occupied in the home. So if we're in town 100 miles away, we can go in and say, okay, I'm going to show up in a couple hours. I'll set the thermostat, take it off of eco, and turn it up to warm. So
Here, and I'll demo that.
and then he'll demo this on the phone. So he goes to,
Go to my Nest app.
and because our Wi-Fi is a little bit slow out here because we're in the country.
There we go.
So we've got cameras operating on the Nest system. Got our thermostat.
And also the temperature sensors.
Right, so we've got those in the crawl space, in the bathroom, and in the kitchen.
So right now it's showing the living room at it's 23.5 degrees. So if I take it off eco, what I'm going to do is I'm going to kick up the temperature past to 26 degrees, let's say. And then you'll see the fireplace kick on in a minute.
There we go.
And there we
so
go.
The thermostat's on, and fireplace flame is burning like gangbusters.
And the app is showing the red.
And the app is showing.
The red tinge, which shows that the furnace is on.
So, pretty effective way to have a cabin without a HVAC system, and be able to make it a smart cabin where you can control your temperatures from abroad. Anyways, that's it for now. Thanks very much.